Good morning. Welcome to my Dashboard Diary series. This is, I'm not sure, episode 2 or 3. I came up with this idea because this channel, I get all the hits. I'm trying to grow a media presence for financial reasons downline. Obviously, that's why everybody does it, right? My alimony is up in 2 years, and I need to find a way to create income for myself. So that's number one. But the other thing is I realized that I had something to say. I started posting videos on my standard social media channels, and I was really surprised at the amount of shares and likes and questions that I got. And those were primarily about things that I think people think about. Once we get to a certain age, we start to question life, our place in it, what our life has meant. Do we have value? And we start to question ourselves. And some of us go through things like divorce, depression, addiction. I went through all of those things, and I literally almost died. When I tell you that I almost died, I did. It is no exaggeration. I almost killed myself from addiction, number one. And number two, I went through a time where I wanted to unalive myself, even though I had 4 beautiful children, even though from maybe somebody else's perspective, they think, wow, she's crazy. But inside my head, I had a lot of demons, a lot of things that I was dealing with. And so I kind of wanted to talk about those things on this channel, because I think that there are women and men, but women out there that are feeling over 50. They are feeling like they are not valuable anymore, and they feel like they don't know what their place in the world is. And I was there. I get that. And let me tell you something right now. I have never been better than I am right now, mentally, physically, in so many different ways, spiritually. Going through the dark night of the soul is really what it was. And coming out on the other side and making a decision that I wasn't going to quit when I wanted to the most has given me such power as a person. I don't have some big giant job. I'm just like everybody else. I go to work. I mean, God, I work for a telecommunications company. I love my job, but it's not a big job. I came from a marriage where I had money, I had security, and that was ripped away from me. And that was scary too, because even though I have alimony and all that, I realized that, I had counted on my husband for so many years to be the breadwinner in the future, that he was going to be the guy that would make sure that we had the retirement and that I could count on that. And so I got busy raising the kids, 4 of them. And when they were, in their teenage years, I found out that he was cheating on me and had been cheating on me for years, repeatedly. Now, I will tell you, I am good friends with my ex-husband, and he watches my channel. And I wouldn't say a bad thing about the father of my kids. He had his own reasons for doing what he did. I think men go through their own things. They hit a certain age, and they have a different set of issues than women have, right? Just to be fair. Maybe they're feeling like they're losing their youth, or maybe they feel like they're making up for lost time. I don't know, but I do know that he went through whatever he went through, and opted to cheat. And I found out, and the marriage was never the same. And then I started drinking alcoholically, like bad. I just needed, for me, it was never social. I never wanted to drink because I couldn't socialize. I am so social. Got no problems in public talking to people. It was about escaping the pain that I felt, the loss that I felt, the devastation. He truly was the love of my life. When I tell you he was, he was. And I will never marry again. And we're going to have another video about that. I do not date at all. And there's a reason for that. Not because I hate men. I think I've struggled with that. I think there was a part of me that disliked, not men, because I have a lot of guy friends, but I'm talking about the male psyche and the way that it's driven biologically by sex, and women aren't necessarily that way. And that's a whole nother conversation. And we'll call that one why I don't date and why, in my 50s. But I wanted to just clarify, this channel, bottom line, I went through this dark night of the soul, right? I want to establish this channel not only for, yes, I used peptides, and yes, I lost a lot of weight, and that's what gets the hits. But man, if you're over 50, or even if you're not, if you are struggling to find a reason to get up in the morning, it could be that desperate. Or maybe you just feel lost in a sea of, like, you just don't know where you fit in anymore. I have found my place, and it was not accidental. I worked hard to get where I'm at. But I will tell you, I would not change my life right now for anything in the world. There are so many different things that I could spin off of this video with, but I wanted to introduce you to myself. And if you are looking for a little hope and encouragement, I'm still trying to find my content. I'm trying to figure out what hits, what doesn't hit. Again, my goal, 2 years, I would like to, maybe go down to working part-time instead of full-time. I'm not asking for anything crazy, but I would like to have enough income to be able to actually live, make a difference in my kids' life more than I can right now as they go into their child years. They don't have any yet, but they will. So I have financial goals. But the other thing is, I really believe that I got something to say. I really do. I think I have done something that a lot of people would like to do, and that is to find the courage later in my life by myself to figure out who the fuck I am and what I want. Did I have financial help? Yeah, I got alimony. Not as much as you would think. But I'll tell you what, I managed to have a great divorce. Yeah, I actually am friends with my ex-husband. Good friends. And he is a great dad. He was just not a great husband for me. In the later years, especially, I think in the early years we were great. That's what made it so hard, right? Things change. That's life. That's just the way it goes. And I had to embrace that. And honestly, when I look at things now and I'm like, wow, I actually had a great divorce. My children were not traumatized. They weren't. They didn't have to pick. They never had to pick. We both did that, my ex-husband and myself. We managed that. We actually still spend holidays together. Birthdays, Christmases, Thanksgivings with his I don't date, but with his girlfriends at the time. Yes, I was able to do that. And that takes time to get to that place where you can actually be that removed or that over a situation. But I shifted my thinking, I realized that I got to keep my ex-husband, because when we were married, we were gonna kill each other. I get to keep him in my life for the rest of my life as a valued person, as the father of my kids. But we switched the trajectory of where we were heading, and that was being friends. Most people can't do that, but it is possible. You don't have to have an ugly divorce. You do not have to go through your life hating your ex-partner because you can't forgive them for mistakes that they made, for apologies that you never got, or maybe even apologies that you did. So follow me for my journey through life, if you will. In my 50s, I am still navigating things, but I think that I got something to say. And if you are struggling for hope, or you just need to know that other people are going through the same things that you are, I'm here. And I am definitely going to post some interesting content downline, because I have thoughts. Let me tell you, I got a lot of fucking thoughts about men, about divorce, about life, about finding your place, about addiction and healing from addiction, depression. I got thoughts. So we're going to explore those together. We're going to call those dashboard diaries, because usually that's where I can talk the longest. And then I'm going to have other things like happiness hacks. I got legit happiness hacks, little short things that you can use that I use every single day of my life. And I got to tell you, I'm annoyingly happy most of the time, or so I have been told. And it's genuine, and that was not always the case. So wherever you are, whatever you are doing, I wish you a beautiful day. And I'm going to be taking a road trip here in a couple of days, and I'll definitely be recording some fun stuff for you guys. So have a beautiful day.